recording. Today is Friday, March 8th, 2019, and this is the Kubernetes CSI implementation meeting. Let's jump right into 1.14 status. Code freeze was yesterday. I think almost we should have almost everything in that we needed to get in. Starting with moving the objects to beta. So the API, all the entry, API, and controller changes are in. Now the remaining tasks are to update the sidecars to use the new beta objects. Currently, I haven't checked. I haven't checked if the new APIs have been tagged yet. Right now, I have a work in progress PR that just uses a specific commit. And also with the external provisioner changes, I'm hitting all sorts of dependency issues with the lib external storage and the snapshotter repositories. So I'm gonna try to unblock those dependencies today. So that's that. Shane, did you have anything else to add?
So I'm working on moving the informer to the controller change. So so I have a PR, but I think there are some E2E test failure that I'm looking at. So
okay.
Work in progress.
All right, and I think David's change was doing something similar.
I already look at his already is merged, so I just rebased out of his change. Yeah, no, we are actually not doing the same thing. So
okay.
Yeah, they are in similar areas. That's why I got a lot of conflicts. But basically, he added the CSI node in CSI node there. I added the CSI driver. So similar changes, but for different API object.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Just ping me when that is ready to go.
Okay. So if I want to do some manual testing, should I use your, because you have some work in progress sidecars? I was just wondering, what should I use? Should I just use the ones that you used in your test?
So I pushed those sidecars to Quay with like a temporary testing tag.
Okay.
And E2E tests are using those. So yeah, those are the right ones.
So those are the
also run. I think you can run the E2E test manually on your cluster too. You just have to set the focus.
Okay. So you're saying just run the E2E test because the image is already there, so I don't really have to manually because the E2E will test that already. Okay, I see.
Yeah,
I can try that. So it's just the provisioner and the cluster
driver register,
the two, right? The external attach is not changed, right?
I did not change external attacher, mostly because the external attacher change is not critical for the functionality because it has a fallback.
Okay, all right. Okay.
But we do eventually, before we release an external attacher, we should update the external attacher.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for the update. Next up is inline volumes.
Yes. Yeah, I'm here. So we did make the cutoff yesterday for code freeze. Thanks for your help, Michelle. And then but this morning I woke up, there was I guess something got in and caused a conflict. So I just re-pushed the code not too long ago to take care of it. It was a generated file that went out of whack. So I'm waiting for it to rebuild again for the CI to go through again. Yep.
All right, no problem. Just let me know when it's ready.
Okay, I will.
Cool, thanks.
Mhm.
All right. Oh, and how are we doing on a test driver?
I talked to Kevin. He gave me a PR that he's working on with some changes on the host path. So I'll be using that to start doing some tests and eventually turn that into some E2E tests.
All
But
right.
I just haven't gotten to it. But that's something that's on the list of things to do.
All right. Excellent. Thanks for the update.
Yep.
One comment about the testing. If you can do it so that it is a test inside the test E2E storage test suites directory, then this test can also be used in the Kubernetes CSI testing that I'm currently working on. If instead you put it into test E2E storage, say CSI volumes or something, then this is something that I can't import because it pulls in too many other things. Actually, yeah. That's indeed the current status because I can't run it against an installed driver. I'm not sure whether that would be possible. Probably. So anyway, my takeaway is if you can do it so that it can be applied to arbitrary drivers by making it a test suite, then that'll help.
Yeah, I'll definitely be leaning on you or anyone else who's used the test framework because I haven't used it extensively, so I'm definitely going to need help there to figure out how to do it properly.
Yeah, just let me know when you have something.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Next up is resizing.
Yeah, so the entry PR was merged today morning, and yeah, I think I'll work on implementing it in some actual drivers. We have obviously implementation in Mark driver, but we need it in like GC and AWS and tested some more, and we have some follow-up work in the external controller, like doing resize when the node-only expansion is supported, and that probably I need to update the E2E for that case because currently the external resizer were just exiting if that was the case, so I couldn't test it.
Okay, sure, no problem. I guess you have. Is there anything else? So let's see. There's quite a few. Are these all PRs or issues that are outstanding on the external resizer?
Yeah, I need to update them. Let me see. I need to update them.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so some of them are like the E2E is mostly done, and then yeah.
Okay, sure, no problem.
The first one is the Saad has left some comment on the spec itself, like the cap, and I followed up with a follow-up PR. He's yet to look at it and merge it or something. Second one is about documenting the CSI support for the resizing of CSI volume. Sorry, I'm getting called. I'll follow up, okay?
Okay, sure, no problem. Thanks. Next up is migration.
No major updates. So basically we were trying to push in the block migration feature that didn't quite make it because there were some comments that needed to be addressed. So that'll come in the next release. The publishing bot is back up now. So I got the changes staged for the library that I needed. So I should be ready with the external provisioner PR pretty soon. Just working on some unit tests. And
All right.
other than that, no other updates.
All right, excellent. Thanks for the update. Next up is Rob Locke.
Yeah, I think aside from docs, we're done.
All right. I guess there's one more. We wanted to try to add these tests in.
Oh, yeah, the tests. I actually don't know what's holding them back. I see that they keep running the tests over and over again. Is it just a flaky test, or do we have legitimate problems still?
There might have been some of the tests might have been flaky. Let's see. So I think actually so this was LGTM'd and approved before the code freeze deadline, but it didn't actually merge before the code freeze deadline. So we can think about adding the milestone to it so that we can still get it in because technically we met all the requirements. I think the only concern is that since these are new tests, we might be introducing more flakiness into the test suite at this point, and I think the release team is trying to cut down on all the flaky tests that we have.
My leaning would be to hold on to it until 1.15, but to still run the tests periodically to try to find bugs.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, so right now, the tests are running here, and we can see the results, at least from this PR history. So that makes sense. I think actually I looked, the branch is frozen for about 1.5 weeks, and if all goes well, they should be opening up the branch again. Given that 1.5 weeks is not actually a very long time, I think I'm fine with waiting as well.
You mean merging it to master for 1.15?
Yeah.
In a week and a half, yeah. Yeah, and then if there is a regression, we should catch it.
Yeah, we can go and do patch fixes and stuff if we need to.
Yeah, so I think that would make more sense. And then we got is there a deadline for the website changes?
Yes, I think it's by Monday the docs PRs should be ready for review.
Okay. So you mean Monday as in 3 days from now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess I need to go over that patch and make sure that all the words are there. I don't think that there's really much to write about CSI blocks in the documentation because it's mostly a deployer-facing, vendor-facing feature, not a user-facing feature.
Yeah.
I'll update the.
Yeah, in terms of the Kubernetes IO docs, I don't think there should be too much that we have to say specifically for CSI, but we should also start working on the CSI docs as well.
Oh, right. Yeah. I have a different action item for that. That's not subject to the same deadlines, though, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah. So that's on my to-do list after all this stuff calms down.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for the update. Let's see, Jan is not here. I will skip this. Patrick.
I am here.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I joined later.
What's your name?
Oh, I don't know. SIG storage. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay, then Jan, do you want to give an update?
External provisioner. I have all the PRs in lib. External provisioner done. I'm basically waiting for release and rebase.
Sorry, you're waiting for a tag for the lib external provisioner?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. There's already a v3.0 alpha tag. Is that the one that has your changes that you need?
I don't know. I will check on Monday probably.
All right. I also started a PR to try to sync up the external provisioner to the latest lib tag.
There's this vanity URL thing that I think Jan pointed out, so keep an eye for that.
Yeah. So, yeah, where's my thing? Yeah, I have a PR up here that's a work in progress to update the lib dependencies. Yeah, but right now I am currently blocked on, I'm hitting snapshotter stuff, so I need to go work on the snapshotter today. All right. Jan, did you have anything else?
Well, I have a small PR to cache driver capabilities, and regarding consistent containers, I wrote a README update for external attacher.
Okay,
And I would
excellent.
like somebody to review it, because I want to do the same for snapshotter and provisioner.
Okay, sounds good. I will take a look at that. Thank you. All right. Next up is Patrick.
So current status is that I figured out how to test alpha features. It basically will be the same test job. That means I can reuse the work that was done to compile local components and bring and get, say, for example, when I'm testing against Kubernetes master to build the images that I need for kind to bring up the Kubernetes master build. And the tests are complementary, so we will get full overview of all test results in a single job. There were some conceptual issues that I wanted to bring up, and that's around supporting different deployments. The last time we talked about it, I mentioned that the provisioner parameter had been removed from, I think, an external provisioner. But that's actually something that can be fixed in the current deployment. Nevertheless, I would like to suggest that inside the CSI driver host path directory, in the deploy directory, we have and maintain multiple different deployments in parallel for different situations. The current one situation will be someone deploys into Kubernetes 1.13. I think that is a scenario that we need to continue supporting for a while. And with the upcoming breaking changes, we will need to add a second deployment that describes what to put into Kubernetes 1.14. And my suggestion is that we do that on the master branch of the CSI host path driver, because then there's one directory that we can point people to, and it will be fairly obvious which of these deployments are the right ones for whatever they are trying to do.
Okay, that sounds good to me. I guess the main question I have is that at least from a backwards compatibility perspective, if you had a driver running on 1.13, you should be able to run that same driver on 1.14.
Yeah, we basically need to document that well in our different directories, what they are compatible with and under which circumstances. For us, the difference will be in the alpha features for CSI, the CSI node info and CSI driver info, because one will be probably using the I don't know. We might need to decide what we actually want to do in 1.13. We might also update the deployment for 1.13 to use the drivers that rely on the built-in types, but then those alpha features won't work anymore.
Yeah, so I think we shouldn't expect alpha features to work across releases, but at least stable features should still be working.
Yeah. So what I envision is that we basically have just a few, really as little different directories as possible, and then perhaps symlinks for some aliases basically for the different Kubernetes releases, so that if someone looks for something that works on Kubernetes 1.14 or 1.15, there's a symlink that points him to a compatible and most up-to-date deployment. But that doesn't preclude other deployments from also working on 1.15. And that will be something that we need to put into the README of these different deployments.
We may want to consider, okay. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to document it, the compatibility.
Yeah. So I'm now starting to use that in the CI testing, because when you rebuild a component, you need to test it with some kind of deployment, and that may depend on breaking changes, for example, in the component. So if you rebuild, it might not be compatible with the standard deployment, but something else. And I want the ability to specify that something else.
Okay. I at least see there might be benefit to having like two different kinds of deployments, one with a stable release and one with alpha features.
I think the
So
deployment.
the alpha deployment might change every release, but the stable one should work across releases.
Yeah. Well, the alpha features themselves don't change the deployment. I don't think you actually need to add any parameter to it. You just need to use different image versions. But yeah, that's the change that comes up with 1.14. That's where we need the new release of the different sidecars that we're currently preparing. Yeah.
Yep.
I want to also point out that there is a new feature that I have in a branch for the deploy script where it can replace image registry and a version tag for each of the sidecars on the fly, basically. So you can use the current deployment and replace every version tag with Canary, for example, to test the latest versions of the images without changing anything else in the registry in the deployment. No file, basically.
All right.
So that might be useful for people who want to try out things.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. All right. Thanks for the update. Next up is consistent sidecars. I think Andrew's not here. I think we still need to think about how we want to handle the leader election stuff. Other than that, I think there's a PR outstanding for external snapshotter, and it looks like the attacher one went in, and then so I think with that we are close to done with migrating them to use the new RPC library. All right.
That's not for the leader election, right? This is
This is just
in the common
refactoring.
library, basically. Okay.
Yeah, refactoring the RPCs. I think we still have to figure out how we want to deal with backwards compatibility for the leader election stuff.
Okay.
I think, we can, I guess Andrew's not here, but maybe we can proceed with the current PR that adds the library for the lease, and at least all the new sidecars like Resizer and Snapshotter can use that one.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
Before we update external attacher and provisioner, we need to figure out how we're going to support the case.
And also I think that will affect the dependencies, because then once the PR gets in, this utils will need to depend on Kubernetes, right? And then you update snapshotter and then provisioner. So
yeah, I really want to figure out how we can break this dependency chain, because I'm hitting it right now.
Yeah, it is painful. So basically, if we have this one in the utils, then we have one more dependency, basically one more layer of dependency, right? Because you have three levels at least.
Yes. Yeah, I think for at least the external snapshotter, for the external snapshotter dependency that external provisioner has, that's only for the snapshot API. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we had that one item that I opened last release to see if we can break out that.
Yeah, but I think I found it change. Just thinking it's a little bit weird, because normally controller and the APIs are together, so kind of weird.
Well, at least in like, so the way that Kubernetes does it is it separates the API, right? Kubernetes has that staging directory, and then all the API changes actually go in the staging directory, and then they get published to an external repository. So then people that import the Kubernetes APIs don't have to import all of Kubernetes. They only import the API part. So maybe we can consider doing something similar for external snapshotter, where we can keep them in the same build, in the same repository, but we have to publish an API only part so that other people can import it.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's better. Yeah, I can take a look at that.
Okay, maybe I'll try to sync up with some people on the release team who are in charge of the publishing bot for the main Kubernetes, and see like how easy it is to leverage the publishing bot for other repositories.
Okay. I think there is usually a delay though. I think usually I'm not sure about the API, but I think some, at least because they have several things under the staging area, some of those have a delay, right? So basically they release the main Kubernetes first, and then they release others on the staging area. Some of those will take quite some time. So I don't know, maybe API will be released first. That's possible. But I'm not sure
I think usually the publishing bot tries to like at least sync up master frequently. I think it's just the publishing bot was broken for the last week or so it wasn't syncing. Okay, but I'll follow up with them.
Okay.
All right. And then I think the last thing for the 114 release, I think we're still trying to fix the reconstruction race condition issue. I think there's a PR out and it was looking pretty good, but actually I think after we added the block test, then the block stuff started failing. But it looks like things are passing now. Okay. Anyway, since this is a bug fix, I think we can, and it's going to fix flaky tests. I think we can still get this into 114. All right. Other than that, is there anything else anyone wants to bring up? All right, then have a good Friday, everyone, and great work on 114.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.